Welcome to the Entertainment Corner. I'm Paul Ortiz, and thanks for joining us again. And with us today, we're privileged to have the president of the Orange County Performing Arts Center, and that is Terry Dwyer, and he joins us on the Entertainment Corner today. Thanks for joining us today.
Glad to be here, Paul.
You're kind of new to the center. You've only been there a couple of years.
Yeah, it's been an exciting couple of years, though. I started just before the new Renee and Henry Sagerstrom Concert Hall opened up, our glorious new facility.
Wow.
And we've had some great shows and lots of good education programs ever since.
What attracted you to the center to come from down south in La Jolla to come to Costa Mesa?
Well, I was down in La Jolla for 13 years, and that was a pretty good run, but right after La Jolla, I moved to Houston for 2 years.
Wow.
So I moved from Houston to Orange County, and that really wasn't a very hard decision.
That's a really easy decision, especially for a center like that.
Oh, sure.
That's established like the Orange County Performing Arts Center.
Yeah, it's really one of the plum jobs in the country. I was very, very happy to make the change.
Very nice. Well, let's talk about the 2008-2009 season. You have a lot of terrific shows coming up.
Sure.
What kind of things can our audience look forward to?
Well, a couple of things just to sneak back a little bit to the previous season. We're finishing up the 07-08 season with My Fair Lady, which starts in June, and I think that's going to be wildly popular with our audiences. We're also going to be doing Chorus Line this summer, and then next year, Broadway season is going to be spectacular. We have Legally Blonde, one of the few places in the country that gets to do that production. We have Fiddler on the Roof, and for the more adventurous souls, we'll probably be doing Avenue Q.
Wow.
Should be a good time.
How difficult and what is that process to attract shows like that to the center? Is that something that's done years in advance?
Well, it is done years in advance, a couple years in advance, and we have a great programming staff. Judy Moore is a really brilliant programmer, and she works with all the senior staff at the center, and sometimes the productions actually come to Orange County. They seek us out because we have such a nice venue for them.
A lot of times they kind of do a West Coast tour, so you'll see them go either from here to Los Angeles or the opposite way. So
yeah, we'd like to think they come to Orange County, and then if they have any time left, they'll go to Los Angeles.
That sounds pretty good.
It doesn't always work out that way.
Now, you have a lot of different series. You have a Broadway series, a cabaret series, a jazz series.
Sure.
So you kind of have something for everybody.
Yeah, we have a very wide variety. The cabaret series is going to be particularly strong. Barbara Cook, who's one of the greatest cabaret artists of all time, she's going to be featured one time. Deborah Voigt, who's actually an opera superstar and is going to cross over a little bit into the cabaret series.
Wow.
So it should be really wonderful. And some of the performances will be in Samueli Theater, and some will be in the new concert hall.
Well, let's talk about the new theater and the new concert hall. What kind of reaction have you gotten from the audience, and especially even the entertainers? Because I know when I talked to entertainers in the past that had visited your facility, they can't believe how beautiful it is backstage, the rehearsal rooms and the dressing rooms and things like that. So I imagine they're pretty happy to be in that center.
Well, we're very, very proud of the center. It's been really enjoyed. It's been an enjoyable experience for all of our audiences. But what's really great is when the performers go out on stage and they start belting out a song and they say, I have never heard a hall anywhere in the world sound any better than that. Wow. And almost all the performers say that. And then the Samueli Theater is our smaller space, and that has a wonderful cabaret atmosphere with tables. You can sit and have drinks and just relax and really enjoy a good show.
Yeah. That theater, actually, you feel like you're back in kind of the 20s or 40s.
Oh, yeah.
And you have the little round tables, and you're just in this intimate setting with the most incredible entertainment you could ever find.
Yeah, it's
That's
really
a nice setting.
Yeah, a great variety of experiences all in the same complex. You go one place, and there's all these different theaters you can go to.
Yeah. What about the hall? What kind of functions are you having at the hall, or events that are at the hall that really don't go to the center? Because you kind of have a little, there's a difference between the two events and the two venues.
Well, in the Renee and Henry Sagerstrom Concert Hall, we tend to do world-class orchestras. The Pacific Symphony plays there. We have some of our cabaret artists like Barbara Cook and Deborah Voigt, I believe, will be in that hall. And then we tend to have the smaller acts, the chamber music like the Emerson Quartet and the Guarneri Quartet in Samueli Theater, and all the cabaret, most of the rest of the cabaret series will be there also.
The hall seats what compared to the center?
The hall, the new concert hall seats about 2,000 people.
Wow.
Samueli Theater, the cabaret theater we're talking about, that seats about 400. And then that compares to the Sagerstrom Hall, which is where everybody will be seeing those great Broadway shows. That seats about 3,000.
Wow.
That's our largest.
Terrific.
We also have an outdoor performance space out on the public plaza, and we show free movies in August, I believe, like Grease and Easter Sunday and a bunch of wonderful movies. And that could hold 2,000 or 3,000.
Wow.
And they're free. Can't beat that price.
That's a really good price. Free, you can't beat that.
Sure.
Is that in the evening about 7 o'clock,
Yeah.
I would imagine?
Yeah.
Pretty good. So people don't need to get tickets, they just
Nope.
need to show up?
Just show up, bring a beach chair and some blankets. I think we're still providing free popcorn. Can't
Very
be beat.
good. We also want to encourage you to go to their website, which is OCPAC.org, and there you can see some of the upcoming events that will be going on. The Chorus Line is coming in August. That's a terrific show for this audience especially. And then you can get any kind of information you really want. That website, I noticed, I hadn't been on the website for, I don't know when you changed it, but it's been a little while, and it's well done. So it's easy to navigate, and you can see what events are coming that you might like.
Yeah, there's even something pretty cool that your audience might want to check out, which is the Seat Buddy. You can actually click on something and get a view of the stage from any seat that you actually end up purchasing.
Very nice.
It's really a kind of a state-of-the-art tool.
And especially for our audience too, we like to get to the matinee performances.
Sure.
So you have that available too.
Oh, absolutely. Pretty much everything we do has matinee performances, and including, I don't want to forget to mention our classical dance series.
Right.
Really some of the best from around the world, including ABT, who's doing we're presenting a world premiere we co-commissioned this summer with Twyla Tharp as choreographer and Danny Elfman music. It should be a spectacular performance.
That sure will. Let's talk, do you have also an open house, I believe, coming up?
Oh, yeah.
And an organ is being put into the new hall, I believe?
Right, this is something I hadn't known about, but when you have a major concert pipe organ installed in a new concert hall, you can't really play it. It has to be installed and tuned over a 1-year period.
Wow.
So we're now just finished that period, and it's going to be open to the public for the first time at a free open house on the 29th of June.
Great.
And I think the showings are at 2 and at 4 o'clock,
Right,
and it's
perfect.
free, and it'll be really exciting. And it's over 4,000 pipes. It's made by one of the most famous organ makers in the world, C.B. Fisk.
Right.
And when that pipe organ gets going, it just rocks the
Wow.
house.
Now, who gets to play that? I imagine that's a pretty difficult instrument to play.
Well, I won't be playing it.
Yeah, I mean,
We bring in some renowned organists from around the world, and this will be a specialist playing for us
Wow.
that performance.
very good. Now, once again, we want to encourage you. You have My Fair Lady coming up here in June.
Yeah,
That's going
starts
to be a
June
terrific
4th.
show.
Mhm.
And what I found interesting too is it's nice to see some of the, I know them as television stars, but now they're becoming theater and Broadway stars, and they're coming to the center. So it's nice to have that kind of attraction because it really drives the audience.
Yeah, for some of your movie buffs, you may remember the name Marnie Nixon. She's in My Fair Lady plays Mrs. Higgins. She actually she provided the singing voice for many of the great movie musicals through the history of film, really.
Wow.
And she sang the voice for Lisa Doolittle in the original film.
Wow.
So it's great to have her on our stage.
That's very nice. What kind of challenges do you see the center having, or some of the wonderful opportunities that the center is actually going to encounter here in the next 2009? And as the years start to develop, they seem to go faster each year.
It sure does. Well, we have an expanded arts campus now. We have a new concert hall, new Samueli Theater, the outdoor performance space. So our challenge is to continue to utilize these additional spaces with the same quality programming we've always done.
Wow.
We also want to expand our education programs and that Free for All series where we're offering free performances to the community. We think it's important that we do a lot more of those.
It's basically a community outreach to a lot of the people, because unfortunately a lot of the people can't afford to go to shows like this sometimes and even see the hall. So when you have free avenues like this, it's nice to have them there.
Yeah, we have many performances that are free or that charge $10 or $25. We're consciously trying to keep a range of programs, all high quality, and at least some of them, a fair amount of them, at very low ticket prices. The Fall for Dance Festival we do every October, that has world-class dance, very best we could find from around the world, and those tickets were only $10.
Wow.
So you can't beat that.
$10, that's just about as cheap
You'll
as
be
going
there,
to the
huh?
movies. Yeah, that sounds like a pretty good deal.
Sure, why not?
Well, thanks so much for joining us. Sounds like you have a lot on your plate, and obviously, like you just said, Costa Mesa, South Orange County, the Orange County Performing Arts Center, what a terrific place to have your career. And for people like in our audience to go and enjoy yourself a nice afternoon or a nice evening and see some of these terrific performances.
I'm happy to be there. Look forward to welcoming your audience to our halls.
Sounds good. Thanks for joining us on the Entertainment Corner.
Pleasure.
Well, that's Terry Dwyer. He's the president of the Orange County Performing Arts Center. I do want to encourage you to go to their website, ocpac.org, and take a look at some of the upcoming events that are going on there. You know, like Terry just said, there's a lot of events that are free. Go over there. Enjoy yourself, have yourself a wonderful afternoon or a wonderful evening. Located real close to us in Costa Mesa, only about a 15-minute drive or so. Well, I'm Paul Ortiz, and that's it for the Entertainment Corner. We'll see you again next time.